Hi, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Lovely Love. Guess I hope we are all doing well. With us today, we have a special guest. This lady is awesome, a woman of God. She's an author. She's a wife. She's just loving God and everything, and she has a lot of knowledge that she wants to share with us, and I'm excited about it. She has a book that is called Breaking the Barriers. And trust me, when I saw or when I heard of the different titles that she has, I was intrigued. So welcome. I'm gonna allow you to introduce yourself to our guests or to our audience. So go ahead. I mean, just tell us any little thing about you, Miss Davis.
Okay. First of all, good morning
Good morning.
again.
Good morning.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share. It's always a pleasure. That would be about it. What you see is what you get. I am real. I don't do the foolishness. And I strive to break barriers in everything. So it's not just the book. It's not just the words. It's a whole mood. It's a lifestyle. It's everything. So that's it for me.
All right, very good, very good. Thank you so much. Awesome. So she is willing to help us to learn how to break our barriers, and her name is Mrs. Shanique Davis. So, Mrs. Davis, welcome. Welcome to Lovely Love, and thanks for coming. All right, good. All right, so in your book, Ms. Davis, I realized that you have titles such as you speak about anger, you speak about pride, you speak about procrastination, you speak about jealousy, you speak about guilt. And having heard all of this, having seen all of this, I was like, my God, my God, my God. These terminologies, these emotions, they are so destructive to an individual. And I'm like, this girl is feeling what I'm feeling. So I really want to know why all of these negative and emotions. Why is it that you decided to talk about these emotions, like anger, pride, procrastination, all of these things? Why?
The why is basically out of my own experiences. I realize that it's the little things that we ignore on a daily basis that hamper our lives and deter us from living a fruitful and fulfilling life. So it is up to us to just be straightforward with ourselves. It is hard, yes, and hard is relative.
Yeah.
So it is up to us to just make the difference, attack the things one at a time, and move along.
Beautiful, beautiful. I like the fact that you say that we have to be honest with ourselves. And this is something that I, for myself, realize that it is so important that people are not afraid to assess themselves and where they see faults to try to fix it. And I think, whether we believe it or not, it's one of the hardest things, right? It's one of the hardest things, but it is indeed possible, right? It is indeed possible. No, like we said, all of these emotions, they are definitely they're very destructive, and they can create block. And I guess that is the reason you came up with breaking our barriers, because these terminologies, these emotions, they create blocks, they create barriers, and they prevent us from walking into a fruitful purpose that God has for us. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that's true.
Very good, very good. So, why do you think that writing this book will sell?
This is because everyone has barriers. And a barrier is basically the point of control or concentration of power that keeps you from moving on. Everyone wants to live their best lives.
Yes,
Everyone
definitely.
know has this whole philosophy of, being the best version of myself, and I want to win. I want to excel in everything. But it's the little things, as I said, the little things that we ignore. Imagine going off on this nice vacay with Bay, and you remember that yo, whenever like Salina, you go to the hotel or the resort and you buck up on Sally's
Sally.
sister. You just feel aggravated about everything and everything starts bubbling up and you cannot enjoy yourself
Very
because
good. Very
I have
good.
these things.
Very
So,
good. Very good. I like it. I like you already. Trust me. So today we want to zero in on pride and unforgiveness.
mm-hmm.
In a previous video, I had spoken about forgiveness, but we just want to talk about today how pride can lead to unforgiveness. Yeah. So that's what we want to do today. All right. So I'm curious. Why did you include pride? Because most times we hear of pride, we say, oh my God, pride is actually a good thing. Nothing is wrong with pride. You know, pride speaks about self respect, self confidence. Pride
Mm-hmm.
speaks about feeling good about oneself. So, how can you dare come here and talk about pride when most times we see pride as a good thing?
That's because we grow up hearing granny and mommy say, you need to take pride in yourself,
Yourself.
put yourself together, this and that. And you know, that gets to us sometimes, especially when we are not given, when they don't teach us the differences or how to differentiate between pride and being too proud.
Very good. Very good. So that takes me to my next question, right? Because we know, I'm going to put it this way so our listeners or viewers can actually understand that it's okay to have pride. You know, we hear that everybody has a little bit of ego, so it's okay. But what is the problem is when we have too much of it. Too much of it becomes disruptive, right? And that is what we want to zero in on. So, yeah, the Bible also speaks about pride being one of the seven deadliest sin. And my God, Proverbs speak about it like majority of Proverbs speak about pride and how destructive it is. So, you know, we want to talk about today the negative pride and how this negative pride, we can call it arrogance. Yeah.
Mhm.
How is it that it affects our lives?
Right. So you have pride and you have pride. So yes, we're talking
Okay.
about the negative part of
Right. And we
pride.
want, yeah, the known pride.
All right. So pride that is unchecked, you know, pride that is out of control becomes ego. And it is basically what we grow up hearing, oh, you're full of yourself. Weren't, yes, people have this argument that, you know, who am I going to be full of? And but the thing is, when pride is over excessive, it becomes very dangerous. And on the face value of pride, you know, it is nothing, you know, it is just how you see yourself, your self-confidence, your self-image, your worth. That is what pride is about. But when it becomes too much, when you start to lord it over other people, when people reach out to you and you can't give some assistance, you can't respond, when you have persons who would call you and you won't return the call, you won't return the message, you feel as if certain things and certain people are beneath you, that is just too much. When you create this circle or this sphere of friends, it limits you in a way, but the thing is, you end up not being able to grow. You
Very good.
can't move past yourself because everybody or everyone is just like you.
Or
And
everything
that is a
resolve.
problem.
Very good. And everything revolve around you. And when it's so self-centered, like you said, I like the way you said that when you just put yourself and basically everybody's beneath you. And that's really, well, you know, the truth is, though, Miss Davis, a lot of us don't are not willing to admit that we do behave this way. You know that, right? We don't, like, no, I'm not, I don't treat people like they're beneath me. But really and truly, if we check ourselves and if we be honest with ourselves, we realize that, you know, we are indeed very prideful person,
Yep,
you
yep,
know.
yep.
Very good. Do you have anything, and I mean, how would you differentiate pride and proud though? Because,
Pride,
go ahead.
All right. So pride is just the deep pleasure that you feel. So some signs of the good side of pride or the brighter side of pride would be some delightfulness, gratification, the comfort and satisfaction that comes with what you have already and not putting it over anybody. So
Body.
it's the more humble side of not being arrogant.
Okay, very good. And proud itself is when you say, "Oh, I'm proud of my achievements," feeling
It stems from past
that.
achievements, but you feel puffed up doing it or expressing that. Yeah.
Wow, very good, very good. I hope we are all listening because this is just very educative. All right. Do you know about the different types of pride that we have? Like different researchers would speak about different types of pride. Do you have anything about different types of pride so that we can better able to zero in on ourselves to see, oh my God, let me see how prideful I am and in what area am I very prideful in?
I right now I'm aware of pride versus ego. So I know that pride is still a bit selfish, but ego is a bit more extreme. So that's the other type I am more familiar with because that's the one I could relate to.
Okay, okay.
So that's the one I spoke about.
Okay, so very good. So you're saying basically pride is just feeling good about oneself. That's a good pride we're talking about. But
Mm-hmm.
when it becomes excessive ego now, it basically you're saying that, oh, puff up chest and you're
Me,
above and
I will
right.
never ask for your help. I
Yeah.
can do this on my own.
On.
I have to win this excessive need to be in control all the
So
time.
very good, very good.
It's you.
What I came up with though, Miss Davis, we have pride in different sense. There was this gentleman, Ronald McDonald,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a story. If you don't mind, I'll share.
That's fine. Go
All
ahead.
right, all right, good. So he was told by one of his friends that he's very prideful, and he was like, "No, I'm not prideful. I'm not boasty. I'm not this, and I'm not that." Because a lot of us, as I said before, we have a misconception as to what pride really is, or
Mm-hmm.
negative pride. And then he would have gone to his wife, and he says, "No, honey, you're not prideful." But then when he started doing his research, and he started reading the points as in turn what does pride looks like, then
Yeah.
he realized that that was really who he was. And I say this to say that sometimes people say things to us, Miss Davis, and we say, oh no, I'm not that. But we need to take a minute and just go and research for ourselves, because the
Mm-hmm.
truth is, especially when it's coming from someone who is close to us, then it could not mean that the person is lying to you. It simply
Mm-hmm.
means that there would have been something that they would have seen, and they're saying to you, hey,
Yeah.
stick a pin, take a step back and check yourself. You understand? And a lot of us, we believe that persons are putting us down. But I'm here to tell our audience that we all love you. We are here for you, especially if it is that we choose you as friends and as family.
Yes.
If we choose you
Yeah.
as friends and family, that means we want the best for you. So when you
Mm-hmm.
hear these things, don't take it that we're trying to put you down. It simply means that, you need to check yourself. Yeah. And it speaks about, and maybe you're a Christian, so it speaks about types of pride in the sense that pride of spirituality, pride of knowledge, pride of appearance, you know. And just by hearing these different types of pride, I'm sure you can come up with something. So yeah, like what do you think pride of spirituality is? Like, what do you think?
I think pride of spirituality is having too much of yourself in your belief. So, for example, as Christians, we might think that, I am so holy. Like certain sins are just,
Not for me.
I don't even pray that God forgive me because, hey, I am not doing these things. So I think that's what it is.
Very
And
good.
a lot of us are guilty of that,
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
we
know.
love you. As you said, we love you all. And we're just here to shed some light on the little things that we keep ignoring that become barriers in our lives.
Yeah, yeah, I like the way you say that. So yeah, you're right. Pride of spirituality is just basically thinking that you're more holy or more righteous than anybody else. And the truth is, we're not. We all fall short and come short to the glory of God, right? And the Bible tells us this. So the truth is, these are things that we want to zero in on, and our Christian friends, we want you guys
Mm-hmm.
to pay keen attention to these things. I want to share with us a little bit more though about super Christians. They call them super Christian. This is what Ronald referred to them as. So it says he says that in every situation, they speak about being religious and they talk about spiritual conversation. And to them, that's being more holy than others, right? They even speak with a different accent or voice when they're talking about God. Like, you're trying to impress somebody that I'm so holy, they feel morally superior. And as you had said, you don't feel like you sin. And so because you don't feel like you sin, you're so perfect, that means you don't need to go to God for forgiveness. So I'm happy that you made mention to that. Pride of knowledge. I think pride of knowledge is, the whole of them dangerous. We know that.
Knowing everything.
Right, exactly. Have you ever met up
When
on
you're wrong.
someone? Oh my God. No, I think that is so dangerous. And can you imagine having that in your close circle? Pride of knowledge, right? You said them know everything, know it all.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
It's
These
like,
people can't be wrong, you know. And the thing is, when you know everything, there is no way you can tell me that I am wrong. You cannot come and say, "Oh, Shanique, you know what? I didn't really like what you did yesterday." Huh? I will have you know that this is unacceptable. And I will never do this. I know what I am doing. I couldn't make such a mistake. No. Yeah.
very, very good. It's a very dangerous place to be. I must say that when we feel as if nobody can teach us everything, not
Mm-mm.
anything,
We're
because we
not
know
teachable.
everything, we're not teachable at all, right? We're not even willing to admit that we have made a mistake because we know everything. Have you ever had a conversation with someone and even before you finish your statement, they're able to tell you that, hey, no, I know what you're gonna say. No, I understand that already. You think I don't understand what you're saying? And you don't even finish saying what you're saying. I hope our audience are listening to us because these are things, and they're so highly opinionated. Like the least, once you say something, it's almost like they're trying to back you down.
Defend.
Defend.
Always
That's the
in
word.
defense, not
Mm.
offense, defense. Yeah, man, it rough and it's very sticky for them because they end up not growing and they don't see this. Let me say
We don't.
we
Yes.
don't see this as a problem
Yes.
because it's us.
Yeah, but guess what? I just want to remind us today, just while there are so many scriptures that speaks
Mm-hmm.
about pride or being proud, right? Proverbs 11 verse 2 says that when pride cometh, then cometh shame. Can you imagine? Can you imagine, Shanique? When pride comes, it brings on shame, and it goes right back to what we're saying with pride and knowledge, right? Because you know everything. No, you don't take instruction from people, you don't listen to other person's opinion. Like nobody can teach you anything because you know it all. And that's what the Bible speaks about, being foolish.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to use that word. Once it is that persons are in a position where people can't tell you anything, you can't listen, you can't try to understand what persons are saying, then you are really acting foolishly. Yeah. What about pride of appearance? Pride of appearance. You think that's very dangerous?
I've never really thought about it, you know, but because pride comes before the appearance, then it has to be an issue. It has to
Definitely.
be an issue. Pride is just how you see yourself. And if you see yourself as this queen, everyone is using the term queen these days. Oh, happy birthday, queen. Big up yourself, queen. Queen, I appreciate you.
You,
And
right.
this gets to some person's head, especially if they haven't checked off, you know, am I prideful? How do I feel about people telling me things? How do I feel about asking for help? as simple as that. Well, it's not that simple for many of us, but how do I feel? So it's just how you see the world around you, how you see yourself in comparison to someone else. I believe that's what it is. And if pride come before it, it has to be a problem.
Definitely, definitely. When I think about pride of appearance, I think about, some persons them try to dress to impress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So them ever neat, them ever clean, ear ever up there, lashes ever up there, fingernail ever the pound par. Like these are some of the things. And have you ever heard about the fact that you have some very beautiful girls? We're not talking
Mm-hmm.
about
Yeah.
beauty. We're not talking about,
Naturally.
oh my God, we're not talking about inside beauty now. We're talking about when you see them, you say, wow. Even me and you will say, wow, that's a nice girl. She's beautiful. But like when you check on the inside, dirty character, and
There is
it
something.
is just a shame. And like I said, that's what the Bible speaks about, the fact that once there's so much pride, and nothing is wrong with being naturally beautiful, but the fact is that when you're going to flaunt that on
Yep.
others and feel like you're more than others, maybe because you have taller hair than me or fairer skin than me, I'm sure you would have gone through that when you were younger, don't it?
Not even younger, even now.
Yeah.
Even now. People will just come and flaunt themselves as if, oh, the thing that women are so fascinated with having these days, bigger bottom. So, oh, my bottom is like yours, and I am more curvy,
I know,
and
right?
I get all the guys, and oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So
the
it
truth.
has to be a problem.
As you made mention of that, I remember when I was in high school, and I hope some of my high school batchmates are seeing this, because they were talking to me. They said, "Girl, you're a box, box from the behind," and I was like, "Okay." And so from that early age, I remember grade 9, I had to tell myself that, hey, it doesn't matter how my butt looks. The truth is, I am beautiful, I am
Mhm.
sassy, and I feel
Mhm.
good about myself.
Yes,
You
yes.
understand? We cannot allow persons to put us down because
Mhm.
they have something that we may think that we don't have. Because
Yeah.
in truth and in fact, the beauty comes from within us.
Yep.
So
And
why did
diversity is important.
and
Sorry to cut you. It is important to have, as I said, we talk about the circle. So for somebody like that now, or those people, they may only want to be in companionship with people like themselves.
right.
So people who look like boxes, it's a no.
Can I
And I
tell
never
you?
even thought about people. We're not here to bash anybody, but these things are actually happening.
It is.
So
It is
diversity is
happening.
important.
It is. It is.
You learn to appreciate people with less pride.
Yeah. Very good. So it's about persons thinking that their appearance give them more self-worth because of how they look on the outside. It give them more chest, more puff up, They should, I mean, they should be praised. I mean, come on, would you believe it or not, Have you ever heard, I mean, I've had situations where girls come to me and like maybe a guy leave them and they say, how dare he leaves me? I'm beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Can
And I
I
have
tell
everything.
you?
Yeah.
I like that. I like these persons, but it's really a dangerous place to be because while it's good to have physical beauty or appearance, good
Yeah.
appearance, it is important, and even more important that we have inner beauty, that
Yeah.
beauty that God speaks about.
Yeah.
Right? And it's important. Another one is that pride of power.
Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh,
Ooh. 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 Ooh.
tell me
Ooh.
what you think about that one. Tell me what you
That
think
just
about that.
reminds me of, and I'm glad you asked about a story earlier because my love story. So
Mhm.
that just reminds me of a story I heard a few months ago about a CEO who he treated his all his employees were treated and greeted the same way. So he
Okay.
greets the executive the same way he greets
Great.
the janitors. And that is what, if you are a leader,
That's what you should do.
don't think that other people just the same are beneath you. They are who make up what you have become. They
Yeah.
give you the power. So it's only right for you to treat them as human beings.
Very good.
Don't lord control over people. Oh, the janitor cannot tell me that I can't do this. I'm the boss. No.
Yeah. Pride of power, for me, I think is extremely dangerous, and we can see this in every aspect of our lives, in churches, on our jobs. You know, I mean, once a person feel as if they have status, sometimes they not even have power, but
Mm-mm.
because they feel like they gain certain status in terms of education and they have a good job and they're in position, then they feel as if it gives them the authority to belittle others, to treat others, and the truth is very dangerous because you know that all of this pride it's coming from somewhere. You know that, right?
Yeah. Some kind of insecurity, low self-esteem experience somewhere in life. People criticize you constantly. So now you feel like you have this need to now defend
And
everything that you were told before.
very good. And to prove to others.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. As you rightfully said, nothing is wrong with being confident, but there's something called overconfidence.
Over.
There's no overdo it. Nothing. There's no such thing as overdo it. It's either you're confident or you're not confident. And so once you're trying to go overboard with it, then that means there's a deeper problem there. And as you said, rightfully, that there's some insecurity, there's um, low
Some
self-esteem
kind of
down
fear.
there, some fear
Yeah.
that's down there, some shame, and then you bring it across now as being superior. So you use that look now to kind of overpower others when really and truly you're dying inside. Wow. Wow.
That is a
Shani, that's
mouthful.
big. Yeah, it
That's a
is. It is big, but as you said, so you're definitely right. There's a root cause, and the truth is, I believe once we start becoming honest with ourselves, we can get to that root. Yeah,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah. But why do you think pride is so bad though? Like, yeah, we talk about negative pride and good pride a little bit, but why do you think it's so bad? And I know the Bible talks about it, but why
Mm-hmm.
do you think it's so bad?
Because we don't anything that is uncontrolled. I believe that there are certain things in this life that needs control. There has to be boundary. We have to practice the thing called ethics.
Mm-hmm.
It's about know-how, applying what you know, and living by what you know. So one thing that I've heard of is the golden rule. Many of us get that in school.
Mm-hmm.
And it is just one simple thing that we all have to go by. It's a standard and it reaches across the globe. It is not, let me tell you, hard is relative, but it is something that can be done. So the golden rule says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It doesn't matter which language you speak, there is a little bit of the golden rule in it. So if we cannot control our confidence and not force it on somebody else to make them feel bad, then that is a problem. If you cannot control your verbosity and you like to talk down to people, that is a problem.
Amen.
That's it.
Amen. Wow. Yeah. So I like the fact that you put it as control. So you're saying that they need to strike a balance.
Yeah,
So
there
it's
must be a
yeah.
balance
So it's
somewhere.
okay you have pride, but there has to be a balance. It can't be the fact that you're overdoing it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you definitely. For me, what I look at when I say that why it's so bad is that when there's a barrier, it's difficult for us to connect. Once we have there's a wall. So how if you're so prideful and I can't tell you anything, how do I
Mm-hmm.
connect with someone that I can't even communicate my true self to?
Yeah, you end up losing touch with other
That's
people.
big. And I mean, I'm sure you would agree with me in saying that pride basically affects our relationships, not just intimate relationships, but everyday walks of life. It affects us,
That's true.
and it's very crucial. So yeah, it's just a big deal, right? But we're looking now to pride and unforgiveness. right? Because you spoke about that in your book. How does pride lead to unforgiveness? Let's hear what you have to say.
So the first thing that comes to mind is this whole thing about being corrected. Accepting that you had a part to play in an offense, whether you believe it or not. It might not even be your fault, but the fact that it's maybe against you or toward you, you still had a part to play in it. Cool. And if you cannot accept or acknowledge that this thing is happening, that's it. That's pride right there. I cannot believe, say, this happened. Can't believe, say, Ray, I cannot, and it could never be me. It's like you exclude yourself out of everything. So the thing is, pride cares so much about who is wrong instead of what is right or wrong. So that's it for me. And that leads to you not being able to give pardon or extend mercy to others. Pride, you don't get to understand anybody because you have this wall of offense that you cannot get past. And you have to go get something for bulldoze and go through it. If you can't get past this barrier, then you're just going to be stuck. Like you go round and come round and find all the excuses. You hit against the wall, you go round and come round again. And then that becomes a cycle. So anything you can't get past is a barrier. And you go so far and no more until it becomes a cycle. And that is what pride to unforgiveness is. It's not me. It's not my fault. It's them. And it's not whatever issue you have to deal with. You're not addressing or attacking the issue. You're attacking people. And nobody can tell you that you're wrong or you need to be the bigger person because you're refusing to be the bigger person.
Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful. That's powerful. Yeah.
I had to come to terms with it, everybody, no one is exempt from feeling hurt. You have to find yourself asking the serious question, like you have to get serious. How do you address being criticized every time, like caught in between opinions? Then this person telling you, oh, you're obese or you're overweight, and then the next person say, you've never looked better in your life, like I just love how you look. And me don't know who for trust, like me don't know who for hate right now. Me just hate everybody because people just like to find fault, and I just can't stand people.
And you say you had to check with you though, because
you have to check with yourself. It's up to you.
Yeah, I like the fact that you brought yourself into this, because a lot of times people say things to us to maybe not even to hurt us, or maybe they are trying to hurt us indirectly, and they say things and they try to put us down, but it's really you knowing who you are.
Mm-hmm.
It's really you being confident with who you are and being comfortable in your own skin. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because when you are comfortable in your own skin, then the truth is nobody can tell you some stuff that you don't know. You know who you are. You're willing to admit when you're wrong, and if it is that it's something that you need to work on, you should work on it, right? One of the things that I have learned in life is that, like, when people criticize me, a lot of persons, when they criticize, they feel hate from criticism. What I do, I receive it. Like, I tend to say that what people really say to me doesn't really matter to an extent. Yeah. But if someone says to me something that in a negative light, I will sit down and I will reflect and I will say, I wonder how, and I would maybe do researches, because truly I like to learn and I like to improve myself for myself. You understand? And you would realize you have written a book. Like when you research, it makes you feel good. The fact that you know something else, and I think a lot of us need to get to a point where we can be truly honest with ourselves and say, you know what, I am going to research this. Yeah. I am going to do this, because sometimes, because we see it in our faces and it's spoken to us right there, And we take our friends and our families for granted.
Yeah.
So because we do, then nothing that they say we won't pay attention to.
Yeah.
But when we hear it from others, yeah. But I really like what you said though, and it is a shame when it is that, you know, because we are who we think we are, we hold on to some stuff. You know how this is me, this can't be happening to me. I am better than this. But we're not better than life experiences. And I don't know if you believe in the law of attraction. Like we attract who we are.
Mm-hmm.
So no, it's true. Some people wonder, why is it that I always have problems in relationship, or why I can't keep friends? Check yourself. Tell them, Shani, check
Yeah.
yourself.
Yes.
Check yourself.
Just get serious with yourself. Ask yourself why. Try to figure out, and doing a little research, nothing is wrong, because if you can identify with some of the pride issues that we have discussed so far, then it is something to work on, and there's no shame in it because everyone experiences that. How do you address, ask yourself, how do you feel when someone hurts you? Do you hold on to the anger that comes with it? Do you resent the persons? Do you think of, getting your revenge? Or do you embrace the feeling of forgiveness, like extending pardon, being more empathetic? Because you do have persons who make it their point of duty to find fault, to give trouble, and to become a problem in your life. But what you do, once you understand the difference between who means well and who doesn't, then you will know how to extend forgiveness. And it doesn't just happen tomorrow, today, or tonight, tomorrow night. It takes time. How do you address the things that you're feeling? You forgive them and move forward, or you sulk and say, oh, when I talk to them again, I go block them, I don't want a friend from them, can't take it. It depends on you.
Very good, very good. So I want you to tell us, what does unforgiveness does? Like, what does it do to us?
What does it do to us? So, oh Lord, help me, Jesus. Unforgiveness is not being able to love somebody again. It doesn't even mean you have to reconcile, but if you can't even love the person or persons from a distance, then it becomes a problem for you. So it creates a barrier of unhealthy relationships, a prolonged cycle in your life. Your health is just all off. You're very anxious when you hear some person's name being called. Heart starts to race. You're getting some cold sweats. You can't talk. You can't function. You lose sleep. How many people are willing to lose sleep because I don't like Anita? I don't like her. You're going to lose sleep. How many persons are willing to give up their peace of mind because you cannot let go of what somebody has done to you? Can you live with that? It's not the fact that it's not hurting anybody but you. You have to give yourself a chance to move on with life. You're killing yourself when you don't forgive. When you don't forgive others, you will not receive any form of pardon.
Wow.
And the Bible tells us that. We have to give to receive.
Very
How
good.
ironic is that? How can you give somebody forgiveness for yourself? That don't make no sense, but it does.
It does.
Because it's healing for you, for me, for us. We can move on. You won't have to carry that baggage to say, the last time, when Anita and I were friends, she did this to me, and I don't think I want any more friends because, I don't want to repeat what Anita did. I'm not giving anybody any chances. But how would you feel if someone held on to your past, like the person you were last year or yesterday? How would you feel if somebody constantly reminds you of it and not let it go?
My God, that's powerful, Shanique. It is. Yes, it is rough. And I'm happy you said that because even in my personal life, I have been hurt. But the truth is, you have to come to a point where you choose you. Is either you're going to hold on to the anger and kill yourself, as you said, or you're going to choose you. You accept it that it happened. It already happened. You can't change it. You know what I do? I tend to do just look at it that, you know what? If they knew better, they wouldn't do what they did.
Yes, and that's being empathetic. You're
Yeah.
putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. And the same thing when it comes down to pride. If you take yourself out of the situation and look at the situation itself, you will be able to understand or be in a better position to understand why people do what they do. Just dress back a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't have to attack the thing immediately. Give it some time. Breathe. Let it breeze out, and then you come back and say, all right, let me see if I can recall correctly. Because sometimes our own nerves, our own self would cause us to exaggerate emotionally, mentally. We start imagining things even when the situation wasn't that bad. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. And I listened to this program on Mondays and Wednesdays. We are family on Facebook, and it's this they had one topic talking about battlefield of the mind. Oh my God. Sometimes, as you said, that sometimes we tend to exaggerate stuff. And it's really a battlefield that is happening in our mind because we think that this is what is happening when really and truly it's only from our perspective. But if we stop, take a step back, as you just said, and try to understand it from the other person's perspective, then how much beautiful our world would be.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and that's all we need to do. Just take a step back, try to understand. A lot of times people are talking and we're listening to respond. You know that, right? We don't listen to understand. We listen to respond. How can you listen to respond? How can you understand? Oh my God. And even before you're finished speaking, they're already talking. They're not hearing anything you're saying. It's just dangerous. I am very happy that I had you online today to talk about this. I am very happy. But before we go though, I want us all to know, is pride something that we can overcome, and how? Tell me what are your thoughts?
Yes, so it is definitely something that we can manage because it is ourselves. And another good principle that we can all live by is if we learn to govern ourselves, then we will learn to govern the other things that come to us. So everything that happens in our lives starts in our mental state or in our minds. And until you change your mind or your thinking, you will forever repeat or recycle your experiences. Unless you change the way you think about other people, you will constantly feel the need to be better than. Until you change the way you think about other people, you will understand how to talk to them, pray for them, bless them, be happy for them without being resentful or bitter. So I remember there was this attorney who said that half of all the controversies and conflicts that arise among people, and it is not because of the differences in opinion or inability to agree, but it's the lack of understanding of each other. We have to take ourselves outside of situations. Take yourself outside of the clothes that you wear and see yourself as the other person. Try to look at yourself from someone else's point of view. Try to understand that when I tell you that sometimes you give off the impression that you're better than people, you may not do it intentionally, but it shows in the way that you dress, in the way that you speak, in the way that you carry yourself and everything that you do. And the Bible says, in all our getting, we need to get knowledge and understanding. Why? we will never truly be successful without the information and the know-how and application. So everything that we strive to attain in life, because we all have goals, even if it's selfish goals, we won't understand these things. We won't get past the pride and the unforgiveness because we have to deal with people. There's no going around that. There's no one person who stand alone. Even God did work with the spirit and the stone to create the earth, don't it?
Yeah.
Cool. So in our knowledge, the knowledge is a know-how. The understanding is being able to interpret the knowledge or the information. And then the wisdom now is your application of what you gained. Cool. So anybody who wants to be successful, whether it be through breaking your barriers or being a loving person, just like Anita, because I watch your videos and I get this feeling that you're very loving, even with your name. It's just all love and feeling.
Thank you.
So whatever it is that you want to be, you have to change your mind. You have to gain knowledge, understanding, and wisdom to get past these things. So
definitely,
hard is relative, easy is relative, but we can do it. It can be done.
We can. Very good. I like the fact that you wrap up with that. You gave so much advice right there and all of that. Yeah, I just want to add in terms of overcoming pride, as you made mention, I think connecting with God is very important because he's the only person that can really change us and help us and give us the power to change the mindset that you speak of. You know, sometimes we take things too seriously, Shanique. Like, some of us can't even laugh at our own jokes, you know? Like,
we can't laugh at ourselves if we make mistakes either. A lot of us resent ourselves too, you know, so
you understand?
that's a whole different
thing. We're not open-minded, you know, we don't know, we don't know what our priorities are, and we have to understand even priorities, right? We have to have, if your priority is your family, then it means that your family should get the attention and not you. So as you said, take yourself out of it, take yourself out of your clothes and just try to look at things on someone else.
Remember the golden rule. Yeah. Treat everybody how you want to be treated.
Very, very good. Very good. You already gave your final words in all of that, what you just said a while ago. But in regards to your book, I just want you to tell us, where can we get the book to buy? You know, we need your social media handles so we can contact you. Just give us a little information on that.
Okay. All right. So I elaborate on a lot more, like
right. I see that.
Whole 9 yards. But I try to keep it.
Let's see the cover.
To the point.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
So this is it. Breaking your barriers. Change unhealthy life cycles and unravel the true you. It is currently available at York Pharmacy. That's in Halfway Tree. It is available at Brand's Bookstore, all the different locations of Brand Bookstore. And it will soon be available at Sangster's bookstores. It's going to be available in December.
How about Amazon? Is it online?
It's also on Amazon. Sorry about that. It's on Amazon. The physical or paperback copy is available for $15.99. And the ebook is for $7.99.
Very good.
Social media, I am on Instagram, I'm on Twitter. All of my social media platforms is the same name. So it's at this Shanique, ThisShanique, or Shanique MJ Davis. LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Very good, Shanique. It was awesome to have you. I feel like, I mean, we could have talked so much more on this.
Girl.
And the audience, trust me, I want you to definitely get a book so you can see things from someone else's perspective. You know, stop holding on to what you think you know. Because sometimes we think we know when really and truly we don't know. You understand? So we have to get knowledge, and get knowledge. We read books, we talk to psychologists, whomever, pastors, whoever, just to give us more insight on some of the things that
And
we
even
are
some simple people that we meet on the road, you would be surprised.
trust me. I have a thing for that, Shani, because the truth is I'm a person, I don't go for persons who are well educated in terms of formal education. I have some friends in my life, them not even have 60. But may I tell you, me love them so
Jenny.
till.
Mad.
Can I tell you? I love them so, trust me. You know, so I want to thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for taking up on the invite. I want you to give a decree and declare in terms of pride and unforgiveness over all of us. So just make a declaration for us, and then we just jump out.
All right, I'll use my favorite decree and declare words, and that would be the benediction. I love it. And it says, may the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, keep our hearts and minds in tune through the love of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Shanique, for coming, and I trust that you have a lovely day.
Same to you, ma'am. Thank you for having me. We'll
No
keep in
problem.
touch.
All right. Thank you.
All right.